Oh, I think we're live.
Sorry?
We are live.
We are?
Yeah, we're live.
Hockey Nation fans, welcome back to another special edition of the Hockey Nation Live Show. This is your coach, Coach Frenchy, back in the house for another great show today. We have to go to find our co-host from West Coast, Michael Devillano.
Pierre, we have a momentous day today.
I think the NHL can stop to play now for a couple of days and celebrate the Stanley Cup for Buffalo Sabres last night.
I mean, I can only imagine how that dressing room feels. They're so relieved, probably.
You know what? I think it's not only them. I think it's everybody. I think as a hockey fans, like a lot of people act that way yesterday, and I agree with that. I really believe I feel bad for them.
I mean, I think what you have to do, first of all, great win. Like big win over a team that they had an opportunity to beat because they've been struggling. 6-1 is pretty convincing. Brian Elliott was really rough. Ullmark looked good, and that's what they need. They need good goaltending. So now I guess the way you look at it is you go, they are 1-1 in their last three because they got an overtime point last game. They lost in overtime, and then they win big. So you build on that, and that's all you can do because you don't want to have them finishing the year feeling like you actually have to blow this thing up because there's good players there. And whether Don Granado's the coach or not, I think give him a chance and try to win.
But you look that, you know what I mean? Like
they're out of it, obviously, but
yeah, but I don't know. I was watching on that screen right here last night, and I was asking myself that, someone just watching hockey, like only like a Philadelphia fans or Buffalo fans or whatever they are, but a guy like us, like me, I'm watching a lot of games, like 5-6 per night, right? And you look at games, oh my God, this is
gross.
Bad. Like
it's so bad. The execution's terrible. The gap control on defensive side is non-existent, Pierre. Like it's like attacking a marshmallow. It just squishes up, and there's so much room to do stuff.
It's like Miller, like last night for Buffalo. It was it was terrible.
Who?
Miller. Is it Keaton Miller for the Buffalo? Number 32.
Colin Miller.
Yeah, it was like so bad.
It's
like,
Colin Miller. Yeah,
Colin Miller, maybe. Yeah, I think Colin Miller. I'm sorry.
Which makes no sense to me because he's always been a pretty good defenseman. Like he came from Vegas. He's always been a top 4 for them.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Even you look at the personnel, Pierre, like Dahlin, when would we have ever said Dahlin was anything less than perfect? Like he used to be at 17, he was perfect.
Yeah.
Now, whatever happened with you've got to boil it down to whatever was going on in the room, on ice, in practice. The culture was messed up and the direction was messed up because how do you screw up a perfect defenseman?
No, it's crazy.
It's crazy. But, on the flip side, Philadelphia has the same mess going on. Like they were pretty damn good last year. Their record started out pretty good this year. They look like Swiss cheese. Like it's crazy. You can just pick apart that defense. Oh, I think we lost you. So yeah, I don't know. I think first of all, congratulations to Buffalo. That was for sure stressful getting to this point. Don Granado gets his first NHL win. He got a point last game, and he's making them better. And I think that's the only thing you can look at. They're doing it without Jack Eichel. Sam Reinhart's playing well.
Yeah,
and you got to build on those little things because they're not going to win the Stanley Cup. They're not going to make the playoffs. And them finishing last year does not help them. When you run all the draft simulations and they finish last, you know where they pick 8 out of 10 times? Third. They picked third, Pierre.
Yeah.
So that try to have a little bit of a win. try to do your best and try to finish the season strong, because they've got parts there that you don't want to get rid of. You don't want to get rid of an Eichel or a Dahlin. You don't want to get rid of Ullmark if you don't have to, even though he's a free agent. I mean, he's shown he can play a good goalie. They just need a second guy. So,
today is April 1st. Today is April 1st. We have 12 days for the deadline.
I would think it's April Fool's Day.
And I think it's important to see how they're going to react, how they're going to act for the next 12 days. Who is going to leave? Who are they going to trade? What kind of message is going to go for the rest of the season?
Exactly.
Right? And everybody know Granado is not coming back. He knows, he's already told to the team he's not going to be there. So they're searching a new coach. And to searching a new coach, you have to almost like appetize them. The coach said, look, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to change this, we're going to do that. If not, you're not going to have a great coach behind the bench. So will be interesting what you do with Taylor Hall. Will be interesting what you do with Ristolainen. Jack Eichel don't go nowhere right now. He's not going to be traded before the deadline. Really, Montour is another one. I think he can shopping for sure. The situation goaltender is another problem there. They have to figure out it's a 2 UFA. How they going to keep Ullmark? That's another question. How much? Right. So I
they got negotiating power, Pierre. They don't have to give another Jeff Skinner contract out. So nobody deserves any of that. So that's the good news. They're probably stuck with that.
Yeah.
And I think Ullmark, he's good. He's a good goalie. He's not going to be, what you don't know, is he a true number one? He's still young.
It's funny you think about this. I think what he should do is a little bit what Vancouver did last year with Markstrom and Demko. So my point to you is, don't try to get like a number one, like I don't know, like Carey Price, not Carey Price, but someone like the top 15 in the NHL goaltender. Like you spend $8,000-9,000, go get $4-5 million to Ullmark, and then I'll be. You know what? Who I will thinking right now? Jake Allen.
No, I mean, if you could get Jake Allen, you get him. I think Jake Allen's destined to be in Seattle. That's probably reality unless they trade him, which might not be a bad idea, right?
Yeah.
Which you're saying, the problem is if they hold 2 goalies right now, it's a mistake probably.
But someone better. I think the same caliber, a little bit better or equal to Ullmark.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that would be great.
So I'm just thinking ahead, right? Wouldn't make sense right now to trade for another goalie unless that's my number one.
Not at all.
They have to be exposed.
Yeah, at least you try, Ristolainen again, like Chris Dreiger or something like that, where he's
Dreiger's our guy, but
that's okay. Tough. Now they may be looking for Columbus. I think Columbus has 2 goaltenders to offer. That's something they should look about that team over there.
And then you go again though, like are either of those guys better than Ullmark? Because Ullmark is a good goalie. He's just had injury problems.
Yeah, but again, I don't think so. He can carry on a team like 50 games, 60 game.
No, I agree, but you understand there's a timing issue. So you're like, what do I do? How do I protect one of these guys?
Well, you don't have to protect them. They are both UFA.
So then you're going in with nobody signed.
But my point is like you can sign Ullmark, right? And waiting until the guy's coming, like I don't know, maybe a contract already, whatever it is. I don't know who he is, but that's something they have to look about that. But I think I think that would be the good start for that part. We'll see what happened over there for sure. A lot of things happening yesterday in the NHL, to be honest with you. It was like I'm still go everywhere about this, but a lot of signature from NHL. I think we have a lot of great players signed yesterday from college. Be honest with you.
Yeah, signing day pretty much, right?
It was a lot of players who been the first thing I want to talk about this because you work with the WHL, the Kelowna was out, stopped for 12 days.
Kelowna,
COVID-19. So that's really the first team in WHL stop. See the development of that story the next couple of days, but that's happening yesterday.
Never watched last night.
Yeah. The second thing is the USA team hire, or they announced the general manager of the team 2022 for USA team is going to be Stan Bowman. His assistant manager is going to be Bill Guérin from the Minnesota Wild. So I think it's good,
very
good stuff there. I think it's great to get them. The NHL announced also they start to vaccinated all the players. So the next couple of days, weeks, they're going to everybody in the NHL is going to have a vaccine. So that's another good news for everybody. But thing we don't talk a lot about this is a sacrifice as a hockey player, but also as a family, because the player cannot go nowhere. The family cannot do anything. So it's not only the players you see night after night to play hockey, but the family play a big role behind that part. And they have to be, you know what I mean? They cannot go anywhere. So the player have to go to the ring, come back at home, take the plane, come back home, everything like that. So it's just demanding, I believe, for everybody inside that part over there. So that's happening for that situation with the NHL. So we go through all the signature. Let's start with the Minnesota. Matt Boldy, 12 round pick in 2019. I think, he's a Boston College. I believe he played over there.
Yep. I like Matthew Boldy. He's a big guy. He's lanky. He's got a little bit of ability to score. He led his team in scoring this year, I think, if we look it up. I really like the pick. He's a U.S. development player, and I think that's another great asset for Minnesota.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him before the end of the year.
It'll be interesting to see. I always wondered if he would take a little bit of time, because he's kind of got that lanky build, and he was a little raw in some areas, but he's a good prospect. I like him.
Yep.
And I think him moving to the AHL is the right thing, Pierre. He's not going to get better in college.
Sure. The Florida Panthers announced the signature of the goaltender prospect future Spencer Knight.
Never heard of him.
Signed for the Florida Panthers, the 13th overall pick, just after Boldy 2019. Both of them play for Boston College. You have a great year over there. Both of them, I believe, they are the finalists of the Obi Baker Awards. So great signature for Florida. That's, you know what I mean?
He's the
every time I see Knight, for me, I see Primo. That sounds like they have to be patient with him. They have to be patient with him.
He's definitely ahead of Caden.
Yes.
Like Caden's funny because Caden, it actually surprised me how good Caden is now. Because for a long time, he was way behind Spencer. And I still think Spencer's ahead of him. But I mean,
well, I think the
comparison, very similar goalies.
The road path, right, is different, right? Someone make the Team USA and everything like that, and really Primo stepped up the second year when he played for Northeastern. Yeah, that's why he really picked it up there. Like he was the top goaltender and everything like that. He bring the team in the Final Four, I believe. So since that, he's really good. But again, you are right. At age for age,
younger and.
Yeah, but age for age at the moment where Spencer is right now, he's in front of Primo. But to give him the nod to be inside the Panthers right away, I don't think so. I think he would need at least 1 year.
I think we got to think like Caden is 22 and Spencer's 19.
Yeah.
And Spencer has been the heir, like the golden boy of USA hockey for a long time. Our goalie, Dustin Wolf's always kind of been behind him.
Yep.
On their paper, because, Spencer's, but physically they're both 6'3". They both block very well. They both have good rebound control. Spencer Knight right now, I think, is still better than Caden, even though there's 3 years difference.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think you're going to see Spencer Knight in the NHL. You're probably right. Like they'll probably give him little tidbits, right? They're in no hurry. They already got their $10 million goalie.
You talk about a 13th round pick versus the 207 the last one at 232 or something. You know what I mean? It's a little bit like
his development's been awesome though.
If you want to have the same conversation, I think Levi and Primo is more the same path.
I probably Levi is a bigger risk for sure at the pros, but Caden Primo's development's been amazing.
Yep.
Like, because I don't think any of us, I thought, he got the name and he's not that good, but he really has developed in the last few years. So I like that. I'm excited about him. I don't know if he'll be a #1 goalie in the NHL or not. We'll find out. I think he probably will.
I think so too.
I think he probably will. He's really good. Where are all the Canadian goalies, Pierre?
I don't know.
Alex Hook. I love Alex. Alex is a Newfoundland-born kid. We saw him in the World Juniors. He's a centerman that can also play wing. He's also on the same team, Pierre, I think. So he played on Boston College with those guys.
And all the three, 12, 13, 16, 2019.
So Boston, we know, is like they loaded up on these guys. Like, they didn't really develop them. They were good before they went to Boston. They were just recruited, right?
Yeah.
But, smart recruiting by Boston. Alex, I'm trying to project Alex in the NHL. Like, I feel like, I don't know what you think, Pierre. Is he going to be JT Compher? Is he going to be Alex Kerfoot? Or will he be better than that? Because there's a certain amount of work ethic combined with the skill, but he's not like super, super high-end skill, right? I can't figure that out. What do you think?
I think a little bit more skill. I think he's a top 9. I think third line would be great for him.
That's why I say Compher, right? Because Compher is kind of like third line and can flex up a little bit. Or, same thing with Kerfoot. Same build, like, so it'll be interesting. But I think he's a real good prospect. I love the kid. He's a great kid.
He's going to be a good team. He's going to be developed very well. He's going to surround with a good hockey player. So I think he'll be fine over there for sure. Talking about Colorado, they also signed a veteran called Keaton Middleton. He's a 104 overall pick in 2016, I believe, from the Toronto Maple Leafs. He traveled a little bit in the American Hockey League. He played a couple of years in San Jose or whatever it is in the California West Coast, and now he was with the Colorado Eagles, and now he signed a contract with them. So a little bit like just in case.
He's not. I don't think he's a prospect anymore, Pierre. Like
no, he's 23,
but he's big. So he's like 6'6", 240 pounds. He's from Huron, Perth, which is in Ontario. He's like a Stratford, Ontario kid. He just took a little time just because he's a big guy. We saw him for San Jose because he played in the rookie tournament out here. Is it a year and a half, 2 years ago now? Jeez. Just because of vid, we haven't seen him. And he's a big defenseman. He could be a bottom pairing D in the NHL. I think he'll kind of flex in and out, and he'd have to be in the right circumstance.
Yep.
But you like his stick reach and you like his size. So I think that's a good signing.
I think so. I think it reminds me a little bit White Cloud from the Vegas.
White Cloud is very small compared. Like White Cloud,
might point to the same path, the same direction. What White Cloud, nobody really know him, not give him a chance, everything like that. And I think what Middleton should get is the same thing what happening to White Cloud. A team trusts him, and I think for Colorado, they know right now they're going to lose maybe 1 or 2 defensemen. So there'll be it's just for that, for protection in case something happens.
I mean, White Cloud was a little under the radar, but definitely very different players.
It was undrafted.
Yeah, well, he's drafted. He was drafted by Toronto. Middleton.
Yeah. That White Cloud, I'm talking.
Yeah, White Cloud was undrafted.
Yeah, a couple of other signatures, minor, but they're still good players. One thing about Middleton, we have another one called Jordan Kawaguchi.
Yeah, he's a pretty talented guy.
Yeah, again, that's another one like Middleton. He's older, never have a chance to make all the way. So it'll be a surprise, interesting to see him. He was with Dallas, I believe, and he's going to report to the AHL.
He'll get a chance. He's a smaller forward. He's from Pursuit of Excellence, I think. He's an Abbotsford kid, so British Columbia. Yeah, Pursuit of Excellence. And he played for Chilliwack in the BCHL before he went to North Dakota. Had a pretty good career in North Dakota. He's always been an offensive player.
I agree with you.
I have a feeling Pierre, like he's older, like he's like 22 or 23, I think.
Yep.
I think he's more of an AHL guy, but we'll see.
Also, we have Mike Hartman from the Chicago sign, and then we have also this sign also Isaac Phillips, a 2020 second round pick or third round pick and 2020 draft for Chicago. Isaac Phillips. And finally, the last ones from Calgary, they signed Jan Gulsnezov, the second round in 2020 also. So that's make everybody. But I think at the end of the day, about all the signature, we just talk about this. We need to talk about Damko. That's he signed a new contract with an extension contract with the Vancouver Canucks. I think that's a big, and I think there's a great contract for both ways. I'm very excited. You know, it's great. When you see both win, you know, he still have 2 years on RFA, so Vancouver could wait. And to do that, now they get him for 3 extra year, a $5 million goaltender number one. He proved for this year at least, he proved exactly it's not like, you know, a couple of weeks or couple of months. He really proved who he is.
He's always been one of my favorite young up and coming goalies. And I was excited to see how he played in the playoffs last year. And listen, we saw a couple guys have an adjustment at the beginning of taking that number one, Tristan Jarry, Thatcher Demko being two of them. And I mean, he's way better than Holtby. He's the future of that team. And I think that's going to seem like a cheap deal in a year.
Yeah, definitely. You know, this year is 12-1. He have like a 2.77, 0.917. So he have a good year. He was a second round pick at 36 in 2014 from the Vancouver Canucks. So, and the funny thing about him is he's from San Diego.
Yeah.
Right. So
he played for the LA Junior Kings. He played for the California Titans, which are I don't know if they're not really around anymore, but San Diego Gulls before that, which, you know, they're kind of hit and miss. Like, you know, it depends on the year and who's there, but actually then they had the Saints, but Boston College, he played another Boston College guy.
Yeah. And his contract is a little bit different, like $2.5 million. And then after that, he moved to plus $1 million senior bonus, then a $6 million plus $1 million bonus, 6.5 at the end. That's usually that you do, and usually at that level because RFA, everything like that. So, you know, I think it's good for him to get that, and that gave also, and then, you know, for Vancouver, or goaltender there, I think it's a good move.
The future for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to mention a few names for you: Colin White, Zach Sanford, Miles Wood, Alex Tuck, Ian McCoshen, Steve Santini. All played in the NHL at some point, and Jeremy Bracco, more AHL. All were on that team in Boston College with Thatcher Demko.
That's crazy.
Boston College does a pretty good job recruiting. And I will mention two other guys, which are the Fitzgeralds. So Ryan and Casey Fitzgerald were also on that team. Ryan might still have a chance of playing at some point. But,
you know, sometimes it's a tradition, right? So that's what's happening, right? They know when you go there, they're trying to make NHL, everything like that. And it's happening in football, college, right? Same way. You know, you go to, I don't know, like before it was Louisiana, Alabama, or Clemson right now. If you go there, you're going to recruit everything like that. So that's how it works in college, to be honest with you. That's concluded almost like everything around the league about news, breaking news. No waiver list yesterday on there. The COVID-19, we're going to talk about this. We have only one player, so we're going to talk about this in the next couple of minutes. But overall, that's what happened. So we can move on for the next 30 minutes. The game happening yesterday, and then finish what happening tonight.
All right. So this was the big game of the night for me, which was the Leafs versus the Jets. It was first against second in the Canadian division. I thought it was a good game, but the Leafs took an early lead, and that was
yeah, exactly. It's a good game overall if you look at the game. But, you know, the fact was Winnipeg was 2-0 at the beginning, and it was all over, you know, over them. LBO. Again, for me, it was the same problem they had, right? The Winnipeg showed their their problem at their D yesterday a little bit more. There was more exposure, and they tried to match up the line versus Matthews, but at the end of the day, it did not work. Now they lose Whaler. Going to see today what happening with him, if it's going to be longer, whatever it is. Cannot go blind Ellerby. But for me, it was this. I can see they're missing a piece of the puzzle. If you want to compete with those guys, Matthews score again. Elman, I don't know what's coming for Toronto, but they're going to have a lot of big decision to do in the next couple of months for the situation with Hyman, Anderson. Jack Campbell start another W yesterday. That's now 7-0-0 since he played this year. So I don't know. Carl Dubas have a lot of big decision to do for sure, but like you said, it's a good game overall. It's just I feel like if he was like 2-1, 2-2 or something like that, it would be more fun to watch. But we cannot.
Yeah, it was 3-0. It was kind of. But if you watch, Campbell played well, but the guy, that score could have been a lot worse with Hellebuyck in the other.
What happened is, honestly, I don't know, but I think it's like anything else. So sometimes a fight where you punch and then the boxer is knocked out. I think when they score in a PK, Kerfoot score in PK, it become now 3-0. It feel like the knockout was there, like it was the end of the game at that moment. Whatsoever when Winnipeg score after a couple of minutes later, but I think that goal turned to be the third of this night by Kerfoot on PK. I think that hurt a lot.
Oh, short-handed, yeah. And then Morrissey got a late one, but that was over by then.
But he was right away. He was on power play, so the same penalty they have like a PK. It was a second goal of Kerfoot for them forever, and then Morrissey make a mistake on that goal. They come back, he score.
What is Zach Hyman worth to other teams?
Who?
Zach Hyman gets his 12th of the year.
Yep.
Came over from Florida for a bucket of pucks.
Yep.
What is he worth? Because he's going to be a free agent.
Yep.
What is he worth to other teams? Is he a $5-6 million player, or do people think he's not that still? I'm curious because I have
that's a great question. This part, to be honest with you.
I think he's super valuable to Toronto.
Yep.
There's just something about him that fits there, right? Like he does things that other people don't. He's not pretty, but he scores. Like now he's got 24 points in 34 games. A year ago, he had 20 goals in 51 games. And the year before, he had 21 goals in 70 games.
Yep.
He's gone 10, 15, 21, and then he gets 21, but in only 51 games. And now he's on pace for like 30 goals.
Here's my point about if he's still with Toronto, he's going to get about $4 million for $20 million 5 years, maybe 4.5.
So, do you think that's a hometown discount?
It's a hometown discount. Is the fact he's playing the top line over there. Is the fact play with Matthews and Marner. Is the fact he was going to have a time everything like that. Now, if he's go by himself, go somewhere else. Many teams going to offer him $5 million, 5 years, $25 million. But now my question would be, he's not going to perform like this with Nashville.
That's what I feel.
But he can perform at $5 million with Colorado.
Right, because he fits with
skilled
players. He fits with skilled players, and he does the things that they don't do, and he capitalizes on the opportunities they give him.
But again, I know it's really not great, but I don't know Tim is here right now, but he's fit with Florida Panthers.
I don't know.
He would play with Barkov. He would play with Huberdeau.
Would they play him with them?
Because next year they're going to listen. Your $5 million. Do you give $5 million to him or $5 million to Orvis?
Hornqvist has been like one of their best players, so I don't know. It's a tough call because Hornqvist is way better than we thought. He's old.
To be honest with you, it's not a tough call for me.
But
I could be wrong.
Comparison, right? Like I think Hornqvist does things that, but Hyman does things that the skill players don't.
My answer to you, Michael, is because the age.
But man, I wonder. I don't know. I feel like his
Elvis is 33.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's older, right?
Yeah.
But,
so
Zach's 29.
But again, like you're going to benefit more Hyman a little bit long for the period of 5 years contract. Right? Now, my question back to you will be sending. Now, you are Hyman, you get $5 million, $25 million, you turn around, you cannot offer the same money to Orvis for the same thing because he's 33. But I would say to Orvis, I'll give you $6 million, but I'm going to get you for 3 years.
Yeah, you do. And maybe you do it front end loaded.
Does that make sense? So
you give him a bunch of money up front, and then.
So that would give my question, my
interesting.
Yeah. So
it's a weird player. It's because he doesn't fit the prototype, right? Like,
but it's going to be interesting to see him, and he's a catalyzer. He's a little bit what Gallagher do. He's a little bit what Martian does for the Boston Bruins. He's a kind of player like that where he's in front of the net. He go in the corner. He does all the trashy job, garbage goal, everything like that. And that's what he does. Look, the goal yesterday, right? So he's under the rebound, and he does
just relentless.
But without him, Toronto is not the same.
I agree. I totally agree. It's an interesting. He's a glue guy. Like, it's weird. I think he just fits in Toronto, and it'll be interesting to see if they keep him. I'd be shocked if they don't, but he's at 2.2.
He could get a little bit more, 5.5 maybe, because something will want to get him. But again, if he could touch $6 million, I would say to you 3 years only. That's it. But I don't think so. You should get $6 million.
No, it just feels expensive. So then I guess it'll be interesting to see what do they do with a Kerfoot. Like, do they dump a Kerfoot? We know Simmons is UFA, Galchenyuk's UFA, so that comes off the books.
Well, UFA. Yeah, I mean the problem to that is the money with Anderson. What do you do with goaltending?
So you got 2.4 there, 3.4, 5. So there's $5 million right there, plus 3.5. So you might have 8 or 9 million to play with. So they might be fine.
Oh, they will be fine, but only for one, not for both.
No, Kerfoot would have to go.
Now I'm talking about Anderson.
Oh, they'll be fine with Anderson. There's a lot of weird talk in Toronto that they don't like. He's getting
Anderson will request $6 million at least next year.
He'll get that.
But Toronto cannot get him.
They'll be able to give it to him.
Toronto will not sign him.
Why?
Because look how they talk about him, everything for the last 2 years.
That's what I've been saying. Like, I think that he gets a lot of criticism, Pierre, and he's a very good goalie. I think that $6 million times 4 or 5 would be totally reasonable, and it would fit in their salary structure.
Yep.
I think on the open market, don't you think he gets more?
Yes.
He might get a $7 million.
I agree with you. He should get $7 million for 5 years somewhere.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought. Because who's better than him that would be UFA?
Take him, bring him to Edmonton.
Oh my God, he would be well. Okay, first of all, credit to Mike Smith. However, like, put him in Edmonton, and you still need a backup. But I mean, come on.
Put him in Carolina.
Carolina would be great too. I mean, look what they've done with 3 goalies that are kind of piecemeal.
Yep, that's something you have to look about that. But I think
if he's healthy, that's the problem though. He always seems to have injuries.
He's a great person, and I'm not sure if the pressure of Toronto. He wants to be there for another 5 years to just feel like those kind of pressure when maybe he don't need that.
It's crazy. He's 31.
Yep.
So he's not young. But I mean, still,
I could be wrong this one. I'm not sure. And sometimes I'm wrong a lot of time, but sometimes I'm not remember everything. Do you believe, and I could be wrong, but I'm not sure if Curtis Joseph win a Stanley Cup? I don't think so. I feel like he's the Curtis Joseph.
Yeah, I think that was always always the Mike Keenan argument against Curtis Joseph.
Like, I'm sure he did not win. More I talk to you, the more I think
he didn't win. He didn't win because he played St. Louis, Toronto, Detroit, Calgary, Phoenix.
Yeah, I think he's a prototype, the player like him.
Yeah, the closest he got was with Toronto. He had 20 playoff games that one year. I mean, he was a very good goalie, but yeah, never got the championship. I think Anderson, there's always going to be questions when you have a guy that's a softer guy, like he's kind of laid back, and then you're not winning. Some people pick on that, right?
Yeah.
And I get it, but not everybody wins. It's going to be interesting. All right, let's go to the next game. Holy crow! So Phoenix, we were saying before the game, is have goaltending issues because Kemper's out, Ranta's out. Oh my God! We were like, this could be a disaster. Well, it was a disaster, Pierre.
Yeah, he was. First of all, we have to remind you, down square.
Holy hat trick!
And 3 minutes 30. 3 minutes something? He scored 3 goals. Like
was it a natural hat trick?
Yeah, like he scored like 3 minutes.
Oh no, there was a goal in between. So he scored the first goal, Burakovsky, and then Phoenix got one back. Bellemare scores, and then Donskoy pops 2 more.
Okay,
what an insane period. That's the first period, Pierre.
Yeah, so they have 6 goals, the most fast 6 goals, and for both teams. Check about that. Like, what's the last goal?
404, 431.
There you go. 3 minutes. I was right.
36, 604, 731. It's like the worst 3 minutes in hockey.
Yeah. I said, he scored 3 goals in 3 minutes something, and then it was 6 goals and 7 minutes. Won the fast, like the top 5. It was all about Colorado yesterday about that one over there.
This guy got 2 points though.
Who?
Exactly. Who? First NHL game that overshadows it. Michael Bunting, 25 years old, a goal and assist. His first game of the season. I guess he played other games.
Yeah, that's
pretty good. Scarborough boy.
Yep. The key last night was more about the McKinnon with Garland.
The Rantanen goal too. Holy crap! What a great pass. This goal, the 21st.
No, I'm talking about McKinnon, what he did to Garland.
Oh, what happened there?
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
He threw the helmet to Garland.
He threw his helmet at Garland?
Yeah, so happening you have they battle in the corner, and then McKinnon, he completely wrap him that way. He loses the helmet, and then Leskinen jump with 3-4 players, and then finally McKinnon ball. But I think at the end of the day, I can't wait for the next game between both teams. So it'd be interesting to see that.
Oh wait, come on, Pierre. That's a friggin' suspension.
No, it's because I don't think so. Garland was expect that. That's what he looked.
Well, why would he? Look, he picks it up like a bowling ball.
Check. The bowling ball is maybe the bowling ball is maybe look
he's intentionally throwing the helmet at him.
Look,
come on.
I like that.
That's a suspension.
A bowling ball, yeah. I think it's more like a bowling ball as a baseball fastball.
That is like a suspension. I'm sorry.
I don't think so, but
you cannot let players do that. Look at him. He's killed him.
I'm telling you now, the hit on McDavid is worse than what you see today. Because he's not looking. Look his face.
Hit him in the face, Pierre.
He was not looking. That's why.
Why would he be looking?
He was looking number 48.
Of course he's not looking. He was
not looking for McKinnon. No, he was not looking at McKinnon. That's why he looked bad.
Of course he's not. He's not. You're not going to look. Waiting. Oh, is he going to hit me with my helmet?
No, maybe we should watch him coming.
That's ridiculous, Pierre. That's a suspension. I love Nathan McKinnon, but that's a suspension.
No.
That's like losing. That's pretty bad. Well, he can't have a $500,000 fine.
Yeah, he can get 5,000.
5,000, not 500.
No. Yeah, no. The maximum CBA is 5,000.
5,000.
Yeah, and you have another fine 3,300 something for, like not like a head, but something else. Body check and the border or something like that. You have two kinds. It's fine.
That's a very dangerous play, Pierre. That's not a play. That's not a hockey anything. That's like ridiculous.
What NHL is talking about right now is more about that what the people was talking more about. Why did you not suspend McDavid versus like give him like 5,000 when he make $12 million.
He forearm shivs him. $5,000's nothing to him. That was a dangerous play by McDavid.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's go next one.
What's the difference between
5,000 and
5,000? Judgment. It's whether you're a star player or not.
Yeah, that's the one thing. But as we said, like, you lose 5,000 versus 1 game suspension. You go with your salary.
Yeah, so you go like
it's your X percentage of the game you lost that you don't get paid.
So let's say McKinnon, is 10 million. Is he more than that?
It's 12 million.
12 million. 12. 1, 2, 3.
12 million is split by 56. And
so
then
it's 140 grand a game, Pierre.
Okay.
So if you're suspended,
that's why he's suspended for 1 game. That's what he lost.
Yeah. So that's a lot more money.
Yep. Exactly.
Do you think we pay these guys a lot? So that costs. There's a reason you pay a guy 143 grand a game. It's because people watch for McKinnon, not for Donskoy.
Of course.
So part of that is self-serving. You don't suspend a McDavid. You charge him 5 Gs because if he's out of the game, nobody's going to watch Edmonton the next game, except Edmonton, Oilers fans.
But again, for the AD credit, like the game, you should.
You still lose some money when you get suspended. A $5,000 is not bad. Yeah, well, that's my point. I'm saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The only reason McDavid and McKinnon, if McKinnon doesn't get suspended, those are suspensions for any other player. Like forearm shiv to the head in mid-ice, puck's gone. Guy's not looking. This one, you're throwing a helmet at a player who's not looking. These are dangerous plays.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Anyways, I think you should be. I like him, but come on. All right. What about this game, Pierre? LA Kings rocked the Golden Knights.
Great performance, Pedersen, first of all. But again, King did not show up for the last 2-3 games and then show up against Vegas. And Vegas did not play the role they should play. It was welcome back, Alex Pietrangelo. That's a good news for the Vegas.
Good news. Yeah, he was
yeah. So I think it was good to see that. About that, I forgot to mention. Maybe we did not go through the game.
Oh, for Colorado?
No, for Buffalo. But,
Buffalo, Montour got 2 goals.
Yeah, so Montour create another record of the 37 goal and shot and dead by a defenseman. Not many people did that. But you have only one player in the history of Buffalo scored 2 shot and dead. Who is he?
Joe Perreault against Toronto Maple Leafs.
No.
Really? I saw that. It happened.
It's not on shot and done.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
Only one players have. Excuse me. I apologize. He could hit this, but my point: you have another players have a faster 2 goal and shot and done.
Who is it? LaFontaine or McGillney?
If you cannot get this, Don Luce.
Oh, Don Luce.
Yep.
Scott
1994.
Isn't Scott Luce? Is Scott Luce still a goaltender coach or scout?
I don't know. 1974. And 23 seconds scored 2 goals. So back to the Kings. I'm sorry. I just I see my note there. But Kings played well yesterday. They have to give him credit. You know what I mean? And every time you beat the Vegas.
Oh, Vegas. He's the director of amateur scouting in Vegas.
Really?
Scott Luce is the son, yeah. His dad was Don Luce. Scott was a goaltender.
Yep.
But yeah, because he was in Florida for a long time.
Yes.
And Tampa, I guess. But all right. Back to our friend LA. Athanasiou gets 2 points. The guy that's been really kind of disappointing is Gabe Velardi. He's been really quiet since a great start at the beginning of the year. He's been playing fourth line minutes. Iafallo continues to play well. Anderson Dolan, again, like another great.
Yeah, he's just back from an injuries, right? A couple of games ago, and I since that he have a couple of points for the last 5 games. He missed a couple of games, so good for him to see that. You know, he has only 13 games. He missed a lot of game this year. He was healthy scratch a couple of games ago, but he's getting a little bit better.
But he started in the AHL, Pierre.
Yeah. But he got hurt.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so. If you go to a game log, you can see.
Oh, I thought he started in the AHL. I guess not.
No, he did. No.
Oh, what are they doing? There we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why I thought he started in the AHL.
Yeah. No.
Good for him. He killed us in the playoffs, Pierre. This was a horrible series. He destroyed us.
I know I'm jumping the subject, but do you see the fight of Gianni Fairbrother again, the big guy, 6'8", Matt Kempe, last night?
We lost 2-1. Fucking Seattle are a bunch of meatheads. That's the. But we got to win that game. I mean.
Yeah. So anyway, good performance in Los Angeles. They did not do well for the last couple of games, so good for them to get that game back and their understanding and see what they're going to do. But you know, Peterson was solid, 40 shot he faced yesterday, so it was good for him to see that yesterday. So good performance overall for Los Angeles King.
Yeah, and I guess there's no video of it. So we'll back and watch on it, but yeah, I don't know. Seattle likes to goon it up there, Pierre. We lost our first game of the year, so there's that.
Yep.
Bummer.
Last game.
Did Evan May play last night? I think. I don't know. No, I guess not. I thought Evan might have played last night, but all right. So last NHL game.
San Jose, surprise again.
Where are they? They beat Minnesota 4-2. There we go. Did you see the Kaprizov goal, by the way?
Yeah. You know, another good goal from another good game for the Sharks. You know, 2
in a row, right?
I don't have the standing in front of me, but if you can join the standing to pick up the record for the last 10 game, it is pretty better what it was before.
You know, they're 7th. They're 15-6. They've won 2 in a row, but they're only 4-5-1.
4-5-1.
Yeah,
wins last better what it was before. That's my point, because it was really at 300, 400. Right,
it's like 486, Pierre. It's like kind of messed up. So, you know, as much as we see 2 good games from them, and they're still 1 game below 500. LA has a game in hand. Arizona, you know, that was a big loss last night for Arizona, and St. Louis does not look good right now. St. Louis is 2-5-3. So
how many points they are behind St. Louis?
4.
4?
Yeah.
I still believe San Jose can make it.
No, of course. That's the thing. As bad as everybody's played, San Jose could make it. Like, this is definitely open. And then we've kind of seen some chink in the armor of Minnesota because they just lost twice. They lost to I thought San Jose beat them twice.
No, they beat them in OT.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah. Or shootout, sorry.
Yeah, shootout.
Yeah. It was good to get a slum and no worry about Minnesota, honestly. But, you know, to answer back to NHL, because he asked about McDavid, of course, the NHL is going to lose something like that for sure. But at the end of the day, they should be better to give the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think of all the? Is it Tim Peel, the referee? There's a lot more talk about how ridiculous it is. Are you which side of the fence are you on that?
On Tim Peel? Yeah, so you have two ways about that. The NHL is going to be very, really involved with sponsorship with the Vegas bid and everything like that, like draft, and now the 99 bet is really popular in Canada. They sponsor a lot. He's going to sponsor a lot NHL. The next 5-10 years, all the big sponsors going to be those kind of people like that sponsorship company like that. So they want to keep the game very with integrity to be sure it's not organized behind the door, everything like that. So
for sure,
that's the reason why the NHL jumped on the gun with him. But overall, that conversation of the coach or the ref is happening all the time. He's not the first one. He's never going to be the last one. He's just happen with the mic.
Does this change things?
Yeah, it just happened with the mic on. It just happened like, but at the end of the day, he just paid the price for the circumstance of what the NHL want to be sure eliminate. So unfortunately, it is what it is. But yeah, for me.
I mean, it's frustrating because, we all know it's part of the game where, they try to keep it so that, hey, if the ref made a mistake and he acknowledges it, he's trying to do a makeup, which sucks, but he's trying to even it out. It'll be interesting to see the direction. I think, do they let refs get mic'd up anymore? And even if they aren't, people are going to be targeting them now to see what kind of conversations they have.
Yeah.
And Tim was going to retire anyway, but still, I think it's terrible to think that this is the scapegoat. I mean, it's just very, very, it feels a little dishonest.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Anyways, interesting. What do we got going on tonight?
A more game. Of course, Montreal is back on the ice. Florida is back on the ice.
Bruins, Rangers, Sabres.
Pittsburgh Bruins will be interesting how Boston is going to respond about that game. Rangers, Sabres, now see what happened with that. It'll be interesting how Sabres is going to play the next game is really what I'm looking for. The Islanders and the Capitals, they battle right now with first or second, whatever. Pittsburgh is very close to them now. Tampa Bay, they lost 3 games. That's something going on. Panthers not going to play with Barkov, Orvis, Ekblad, and Duclair tonight. Barkov and Orvis should be back this weekend, but they are not going to get them. Montreal Canadiens, Senators, Matt Murray should be back in the lineup tonight. So good news for them. Hurricane Blackhawks is about, I don't know if Lincoln will be back, but that would be interesting. I think Hurricane will be good. Star Predators, Nashville is on fire right now. 6W right now. And Star, they want, it's the same thing. I'm not looking. This would be hard for Minnesota. A back-to-back game, travel from San Jose to Vegas. I think Vegas is going to beat them very well. And Leonard will be back in the line between the pipes.
It's interesting because we see these matchups a lot.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see this. I think the Rangers are playing way too good for the Sabres to get another win here. Like, I think the way we saw them play last night, they should pick them apart.
Yep.
But it'd be interesting to see how Buffalo responds to a much better team. Capitals Islanders has become a big rivalry, and it's important in the standings.
Both teams lost their last game for sure. And then Pittsburgh, I forgot to tell you, Travis Jerry is day-to-day. And Rask, the rumor is not coming back for the rest of the season.
Why?
He got hurt, and then
Still, Blue Jackets Lightning. Blue Jackets win their last game.
Yep, he beat them. Vasilevsky will be back in the lineup tonight, so don't expect anything else.
Blue Jackets are a pain in the neck, so we'll see what happens. Red Wings Panthers. This is an opportunity for Detroit, to make another step, and they've been splitting most of their series. So I feel like that they're trying to at least split the series. Is Bernier still out? I'm assuming they're going to.
Yeah, Bernier is out. This is the last game of the year between both teams. Panthers win 5-7 game. But now we'll see how they're going to respond with those missing. And if you check their lineup right now, like I checked their lineup this morning, is like Weber first line, Achiri second line is just like bad and bad.
So Jake Allen versus Gustafsson, Casey DeSmith versus Vlar.
Yep.
Samsonov versus Varlamov.
Yep.
So Thomas Greiss is not confirmed yet. So that'll be interesting.
Draeger is in.
Draeger, the future Detroit Red Wing.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. The Wizard of Mizlurkins against Vasilevsky. Yep. That'll be interesting. Shesterkin versus Olmark. Unconfirmed, but
I would not. Olmark is not going to be there tonight.
If Dallas starts Jake Ottinger, they're going to lose. Just going to say it right now. Lankinen versus Nedeljkovic. I got to learn how to pronounce his name. Nedeljkovic. Sound better? Nedeljkovic. We'll have to look it up. Talbot versus Leonard. Talbot's been pretty good.
Yeah, Talbot is looking great.
Interesting. What?
I just want to
miss 2 to 3 weeks with a quad injury. What?
I just want to mention to you that Florida Panthers just announced today they signed the defenseman Matt Kersted on a 2 years entry-level contract.
All right, so let's wrap it up with Wild and Golden Knights last game. That's it. That's everything, Pierre.
I want to mention to you also today is opening night, opening day baseball.
What's that?
It's another sport where people like it. We have a one player.
Is that why we're never going to get Craig Minervini back?
The Edmonton Oilers has placed forward Tyler Ennis on the waiver.
Why? He's played.
Nathan McKinnon has been fined $5,000, the maximum under the CBA.
Should have been suspended.
No. Bobby Ryan and Sam Gagner are both not unavailable to play tonight. They are raised day to day, so they're not going to be there tonight.
Cool. Bobby Ryan hasn't been available for about 20 games.
Yeah, but he's coming close right now. So
Bobby Ryan's like invisible.
Danev is going to be back in the lineup for Pittsburgh.
Oh, Brandon.
Yep.
I do have to jump, Pierre, but I will leave you if you want to wrap.
No, it's all good for me here. I was just trying to get all the update in NHL a few minutes ago, but we are good to go. Everybody, have an amazing, great day, and we'll see you tonight. Live streaming, Hockey Nation live show, stream 2 games tonight. Florida Panthers, Montreal Canadiens versus the Ottawa Senator. I will see you tonight. Have an amazing, great Thursday, everybody. See you, Michael, tomorrow, Friday, 11 o'clock Eastern Time.
Thanks, Pierre.